And we have further details on the shooting that involved a federal officer on Yakima Nation grounds. Good Morning Northwest continues right now.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Brianna Berman Solo. You know, before we set the clocks and see daylight saving time come to an end this weekend, our sunrises have been so beautiful. It's going to be just a great weekend in store. And that sunrise happening a little bit earlier.
It's going to be a little bit later for us once that happens, right? Once we set the clocks.
Yeah. We spring forward and we're going to see a big difference again in our, I should say, daylight saving time starts as we spring those clocks forward 1 hour, enjoying an early sunrise this morning. Now, before the sun comes out, taking a look right now at the Legends Skycam Network camera. This is from Richland. We're seeing very quiet conditions, but looks can be deceiving as it is quiet this morning in the Tri-Cities. Our winds are calm. We do have a few flurries on the way. And they're so light in nature, so hard to track here that over the past 3 hours, you can see the radar picking up, the scans coming back in, picking up very light amounts of snow, little pockets here and there. Two of them, two bigger ones being right now in Spokane County, to the north, and right now between Dayton and Walla Walla. So along the Palouse here, eastern Washington, Idaho, picking up anywhere from about an inch or so, and those rates will be higher once we look ahead into the future along the foothills of the Blues. But the Tri-Cities, Yakima Valley, Kittitas Valley, mostly dry this morning. A few flurries or two during the 8 o'clock hour. 30s turn to 40s. Mild but chilly. Keep the jacket all day long for your afternoon forecast. Coming up, we'll help you plan out your weekend, looking at spring returning before we know it. Get ready for that Arctic blast of winter, though, right now. Jill, I'll send it back over to you.
There's a warrant out for the arrest of two people who own several massage parlors across the state, including here in the Tri-Cities. They're accused of leading organized crime, promoting prostitution, and money laundering. Cap KVUE's Riley Fitzgerald breaks down the investigation that has been going on for months.
On Wednesday, March 1st, law enforcement agencies across the state executed search warrants at the location of 3 massage parlors in Washington and the 2 common mailing addresses in Tacoma that cover at least a dozen massage businesses across the state. This was in partnership with the Columbia River Drug Task Force. This investigation started as a report came in of suspicious activities and sounds happening at a massage parlor in Wenatchee, which sparked a series of undercover investigations. February 1st, investigators sent an undercover officer into one Kennewick location and said the employee of the massage location was expecting money in return for sexual acts. This one is the only one in the Tri-Cities authorities confirmed to have criminal acts taking place, but undercover police officers say they also found this happening at 2 other locations in Washington owned by the same person. All of those businesses were served with search warrants Wednesday, March 1st. The detective wrote in the lengthy probable cause statement that, all in all, 4 different undercover operations were conducted at 3 different massage parlors in the state of Washington. 4 separate workers of the massage parlors offered sexual favors for money to undercover officers. He states, "Throughout everything I have documented in this report, I am confident these 3 massage parlors are exclusively used for prostitution." He goes on to say he is also confident that these 3 parlors are part of a much larger criminal organization. The people accused of these crimes actually own 4 locations in Kennewick, all along or near Clearwater Avenue, and around a dozen locations across the state. There has been no confirmation that the 2 suspects have been arrested yet. In Kennewick, Riley Fitzgerald, Cap KVUE Local News.
This is a developing story, and we will bring you the latest information as soon as it is confirmed. The first flight of a hydrogen-powered airplane was a success. It demonstrates that zero-emissions air travel is possible. The 40-passenger plane took off from Grant County International Airport in Moses Lake and flew around about 15 minutes before landing. This was the first in a 2-year flight test campaign with hopes into entering commercial space in 2025. Continuing coverage this morning on a shooting in Wapato involving a federal law enforcement officer. Cap KVUE's Emily Goodell has the latest.
Authorities say a member of a U.S. Marshals task force was operating in Wapato within the bounds of the Yakima Reservation Thursday afternoon when they became involved in a shooting in the 1100 block of Donald Wapato Road, leaving one person injured. Authorities say the injured person was not a law enforcement officer. The Yakima Valley Special Investigations Unit, which typically investigates officer use of force in Yakima County, says they're not involved. Instead, the FBI says even though they weren't involved in the initial incident, they are in charge of the investigation. Cap KVU asked for more information and got a statement from FBI Seattle saying it is routine for shooting incidents involving federal agencies to fall within the FBI's jurisdiction, potentially concurrent depending on the location of the incident. When an incident occurs on federal land or reservation, this would provide the FBI with the primary jurisdiction to investigate. No further information has been released regarding this case, but we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more. In Wapato, Emily Goodell, Cap KVU, Local News.
Keep an eye on our website, yaktrinews.com, for the latest information on this case. The Pasco School District bond to build brighter futures passed by 60.9%, just barely going over the cusp to approve a bond. The goal of the bond was to alleviate overcrowding and modernize learning. They plan to do this by building 2 new high schools in the city, hopefully to be open by fall of 2025. Superintendent Michelle Whitney says the community should start seeing ground moving in April and that they're excited to get these projects going.
Just a testament to this community's commitments to our children, and we're just so incredibly grateful and don't for 1 minute take this investment for granted. So our job now is to be good stewards of this community's investment, and we're proud and honored to do that.
There were 8 bond measures on the ballot in Washington. Superintendent Whitney says Pasco's was the only one approved. It's called Windows Alive. It's a project the Yakima Arts Commission has been doing for years now that lets artists across central Washington get exposure for their works. Local artists from around the region are selected to have their works of art put on display in old, unused store windows. It gives people who roam the downtown area a unique visual of paintings, carvings, and drawings rather than bleak, empty storefronts.
One other thing that's important to know is that the artists, there are 6 artists that are selected for each show, and each artist does receive a $250 stipend.
Many of the people featured in the exhibit admit to being closet artists and say this opportunity gives them a chance to share their take on art with the public and artists like themselves. Windows Alive displays are located on the north side of Yakima Avenue between Hotel Mason and 3rd Street. They're hoping to have the new art up by April 7th. And history was made last night as the Washington State University women's basketball team brought home the Pac-12 championship in their 65-61 win over UCLA. The Cougs' victory netted them their first Pac-12 title in the school's history. And not just in basketball, their championship win was their first Pac-12 title across all women's sports. Congratulations to the Cougs. Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo returns now with a look at your morning weather forecast.
We'll prepare for ice this morning and a few flurries falling depending on where you live. We'll let you know where to expect snow and where you'll need the warm winter jacket coming up in just a few minutes.
Plus, a high school basketball team in Wisconsin faced racist messages when they traveled to another school for the playoffs.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get into Ford F-150. All amped up and ready for work or play. Get 0 for 36 plus $3,000 low APR cash on a 2022 F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
The heart wants one thing, but does the mind?
I'm going to read your mind. Do you think you're the right person for Zach?
Want another?
You deserve love I can't give you. This is not the last goodbye. I know it's going to get worse.
You are our winner of $1,000 to help out Mustangs for Mustangs.
Thank you so much.
$1,000, that's food for 6 families for a week.
Please tell us a story of someone you believe is making an impact.
We know vaccines, immunizations, and boosters save lives. They nearly eradicated polio, protected our infants from chickenpox and measles, and kept our kids safe from whooping cough and meningitis. The best way to keep your family safe from these viruses is to stay informed about when to get vaccinated. If you have questions about vaccinations, like COVID-19 or the flu, talk with your healthcare provider today. Learn more at askyourprovider.org.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
Us. This isn't us. Is it? When did we get so connected to our devices and so disconnected from each other? And when our phones have turned us into this? LT, what do you do when you're a company that sells them?
We gotta fix this.
It's time to find what we're missing. Join us in taking a break from our devices. Take the phones down for 5 challenge for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes.
Feels good.
And let's find us again. US Cellular, built for us.
Chris Rock ready to settle the score with Will Smith. Next extra, the comedy world reacts as Chris slaps back in Netflix's first ever live streaming comedy special. What you didn't see. Next extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on Cap KView.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts, America. So let's drive on and make the future we want to see together.
Get 0 for 36 plus $2,000 trade-in cash on an in-stock 2022 Escape. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Portion of Cap KView sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Members of a high school basketball team from Wisconsin are speaking out after they found racist messages inside a locker room. Marcus Arsvold spoke with athletes, parents, and the coach from Beloit Memorial High School as they support one another.
I just feel like it was pretty racist and that was uncalled for. It just felt very overwhelming and unnecessary, and I just feel like there should be no place for that in a sports event or any event at all.
Beloit Memorial senior DeCarlos Nora III didn't expect to see the N-word and swastikas written all over the visiting team's locker room at Muskego High School. Parents also recorded video of Muskego students wearing black face masks and tank tops, outfits they say depict black people in a racist light.
We aren't going to retaliate in a way that they think we would, because we're not those type of people that they think we are, and we're above that, and we're going to do it the right way and just rise above it and then overcome it, and then I hope that they don't do it again.
Beloit Memorial head coach Todd Mark says he felt unsettled and disturbed during the game. He was not aware of the locker room writing until after the game. Otherwise, he says he would not have allowed the game to continue.
We love our kids, and to see them have to face that breaks my heart, and to see what they had to deal with. But we stand together in solidarity against what our kids and community had to face last night.
Last night, Muskego High School was not a safe environment for our children or our families.
Parent Dr. Rick Daniels wants the Muskego community to change.
Racism has no place in our society, but clearly it has a place in some of your homes. And I would encourage you as parents to think critically about how you can prepare your children to be in a diverse society, because the behavior that was exhibited yesterday is antithetical to that.
As for the basketball team, they just hope this never happens again.
I wanted to actually change, because usually things like this, people just see it and they don't really do anything about it. So I just want people to see it and start changing.
Beloit superintendent sent out a statement saying his district is working with Muskegos to investigate what he calls unacceptable actions. Coming up, unexpected snowfall has hit California, leaving a few residents unprepared for the oncoming snow. And Chief Meteorologist Brianna Brumansolo will return with a look at your First Alert forecast.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Every location is conveniently located and gives you the lowest prices and largest selection of vape mods, the best batteries, tobacco products, Kratom, and specialty products too. We have something for everyone, including gift cards for any occasion. Check out the specials and deals today. Open 7 days a week in 5 locations: Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Wait, hold up. DQ put fries and onion rings in a chicken strip basket? Did you know this? Oh, of course you did. It's sitting right in front of you. Sorry. I mean, you got fries and onion rings together. Is this for real?
Hey, baby, wait.
Oh, yep. That just got really real. Grab a chicken strip and fry rings basket.
Okay, just one.
DQ, happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
We protect your house.
We're gonna do it!
And your car.
We need to keep our energy up. I want to take me to Funky Town.
because we know they're the launching pad to their dreams. And now you can save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Prosser Women's Health Center OBGYN Dr. Heidi Weaver provides the full spectrum of obstetrics and gynecological care, including pregnancy care and help for menstrual disorders and endometriosis. Her services also include infertility treatments. If you struggle to conceive, there is hope. Schedule an appointment today with Dr. Heidi Weaver at the Prosser Women's Health Center by calling 509-786-0031 or learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Come fly with us over a beautiful mountain with awesome views.
You could bring the whole family. Highly suggest it, and please, it's really good. Go up there and see it for yourself.
Fly the Northwest over Canfield Mountain. Cap KVU Local News at 6 Tuesday.
TY? Thank you is TY now?
Next live, Katie Holmes. Plus, live returns to the Oscar stage for Live's After Oscars show.
Today at 9 on Cap KVU. Weather Alert Day. Cap KVU Local News First Alert Weather, helping keep you and your family safe. Now, Cap KVU First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Brianna Bermansolo.
We have two different pictures to show you this morning. If you're getting ready for work or school and you're not looking at your television screen right now, come on over, look at the screen, and look at the contrast between our Legend Skycam network camera in Richland, dry and quiet this morning as the sun's starting to come out. Now we switch over to the mountains and we see a blanket of snow, a much different picture if you're headed over the Cascades or if you plan to head over the Blues if you're headed east today. So winter is not done with us just yet. That includes the lower elevations as well. Even though it's quiet in the Tri-Cities right now, where we just took that live look, it is a cold morning, temperatures right around freezing in the Yakima Valley as well. Watch for ice and snow flurries, greater chances again of snow in the mountains, but we'll see enough in the lower elevations to create a slick dusting. Sunshine returns this afternoon. That will help to melt things off. Anything that refreezes, what we get this morning, about a tenth up to about a half an inch, this much in the Tri-Cities, that's enough to create icy conditions again for tonight. So by 6 o'clock this evening, that sun's going to start to go down. We'll see an inch from the morning hours in Yakima, and that estimate may be a little bit high in Yakima. We're seeing a greater chance of closer to 2 inches from Walla Walla to Pendleton. That's where it is snowing right now. At 6 a.m., we're going to see the potential for that snow to stick around the Palouse, Spokane County, and Walla Walla, all looking right in the bullseye of the radar for snow that switches over to rain briefly. Otherwise, Tri-Cities, Yakima staying dry today. Some nice clearing. Again, I should say during the afternoon hours, Yakima will pick up any snow you see today during those morning hours. So prepare for winter for the first half of the day, spring sunshine, and slightly warmer temperatures returning by this afternoon. 43 degrees in Yakima. Keep the jacket all day long. It is not a warm day, but it will be dry to finish the afternoon hours. 47 degrees and sunshine in the Tri-Cities after that cloudy, snowy start. 45 degrees in Walla Walla. We're just riding the roller coaster here as we flirt between the last couple weeks of winter here and the start of spring coming up closer to the end of the month. This is the first full week of March and we're seeing 40s turn to 50s, gradually seeing a cool but more spring-like forecast for the weekend as seasonal temperatures return in Yakima as well for Saturday and Sunday. We are dry right now in Yakima, picking up any snow this morning that we see throughout the day. Sunshine returning, 40s this afternoon. Jill?
Now to the relentless snow in parts of California. Several more feet are expected in the Sierra Nevada mountains in the coming days. Meanwhile, efforts to reach people stranded by snow are moving forward east of Los Angeles. Here's ABC's Lionel Moise.
This morning, the historic winter for the mountain communities of California shows no signs of slowing down. Up to 5 feet of snow is possible in the Sierra Nevada mountains this week, adding to the 46 feet of snow the area already received this season. Thousands were without power over the weekend, with blizzard conditions and near zero visibility, causing accidents like this along I-80. It comes as people are still stranded east of LA in the San Bernardino Mountains, where up to 12 feet of snow fell from back-to-back storms.
This is how we have to get people out of the snow.
Volunteers handing out supplies as some people run out of food and gas. Crews desperately trying to clear away tons of snow, hampered by wind gusts up to 55 miles per hour.
This right here is a street here in the Valley of Enchantment community. It has yet to be plowed. Many of the cars, as you can see, still buried, making it very difficult just to navigate your way through.
Officials are warning some residents could be stranded for another week. Meanwhile, winter storms now heading east. Overnight, the Midwest hit with heavy snowfall covering these roads in Minnesota. That system now moving through the Great Lakes before hitting the Northeast tonight, making for slippery road conditions tomorrow morning. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
A heavy police presence Sunday outside the site of a proposed public safety training center in Atlanta. Police say 35 people were detained for committing illegal activity. According to a release from Atlanta PD, a group of violent agitators changed into black clothes and started throwing rocks, bricks, and Molotov cocktails. Officers responded after a fire erupted at the site. Protesters had demonstrated there earlier in the day and reportedly tossed rocks as they moved closer to the location they've dubbed Cop City. The training facility has sparked protests in Atlanta for months. Opponents say the construction on 85 acres of wooded land is bad for the environment and say the training facility will further militarize policing. Now to the train derailments in Ohio. Today, NTSB investigators are expected at the scene of the latest one over the weekend in Springfield, Ohio. It happened just more than a month after the toxic derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. Both those trains owned by the same company. Here's ABC's Liz Nagy.
This morning, rail company Norfolk Southern faces more scrutiny over its safety record after another train derailment.
This train was over 200 cars, which is 50 more cars than the East Palestine train. So the railroad's got a lot of questions they've got to answer, and they really haven't done it very well yet.
Dashcam video shows the moment a Norfolk Southern train derailed in Springfield, Ohio over the weekend. 28 of the 212 cars derailed, including 4 empty tankers with residual amounts of diesel exhaust fluid and common industrial products. Authorities say the crash poses no threat to the public's health.
Once we got crews in there, we noticed that there was no hazards leaking, no spillage.
The cause of the derailment is still under investigation. This marks Norfolk Southern's 4th train derailment in Ohio in the past 5 months, including the derailment in East Palestine, where a toxic waste cleanup is still underway. Since the February 3rd derailment, residents there have suffered from a range of symptoms, including headaches, anxiety, coughing, fatigue, and skin irritation. The Environmental Protection Agency has now ordered Norfolk Southern to test the area for dioxins, which can cause cancer.
Safety is our #1 priority. And as I stated earlier, our derailments, our mainline derailments are on the decline.
According to the Federal Railroad Administration, Norfolk Southern transports goods across nearly 20,000 miles of rail in 22 states and Washington, D.C. New legislation proposed by a bipartisan group of senators would require rail companies to notify state emergency officials if they're transporting hazardous materials.
Shouldn't take a rail disaster to get us working together like that, and that's what we're going to be doing.
On Thursday, Norfolk Southern's CEO is set to testify in front of Congress about the recent derailments. When we return on Good Morning Northwest, norovirus has already hit the Tri-Cities, but now it's extending its reach. That's coming up next.
For over 600 different premium cigars, including every cigar rated 95 and higher in the last decade. It's The Educated Cigar. For 115 different fine pipe tobaccos and 55 different Briarwood pipes from England, Germany, and Italy. It's The Educated Cigar. For 95 and higher rated wines and White Bluff IPAs, it's The Educated Cigar in Richland.
Time for a new roof? Let M&M Roofing replace it with the product so good you'll never have to replace it again. All roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is a sign you'll want in your yard.
Why is strength training now blowing up across TikTok? Why are so many women turning to it over other exercises? This week on GMA, you'll see why. Is strength training perfect for you? Plus, Hayden Panettiere live this morning on Good Morning America.
What kind of movie are we gonna make?
Celebrate the dream makers and the movies that changed our lives.
There's something about the magic of movies. One of my favorites is Back to the Future. It got me and my parents talking about them in high school. And that's one of the great things about movies. It causes conversation. I just love it.
The Oscars, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel, live Sunday, March 12th on ABC.
Welcome Home is your guide to better living in the Tri-Cities Yakima area. We talk with local experts about trends and styles that will make your house a home.
Welcome Home, Saturday at 3 on Cap KVUE.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $2,100 off on a new Daikin Fit system and thermostat when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Fly the Northwest over Canfield Mountain. Cap KVUE Local News at 6 Tuesday.
All right, Jill, you got to check this out. I've got a surprise for everyone. Well, if you live in Leavenworth or you're visiting right now, you're not surprised. Snow has been falling for the last couple of hours. It's beautiful, a winter wonderland, and winter is not done with us yet. So as we take a look at our rush hour forecast, plan on a yellow light forecast. Use caution out on the roads this morning. Very light snowfall and some ice this morning, but then we'll see things melt. The sunshine returns this afternoon, and we switch over to an easy drive for the evening hours. Watch for ice for tomorrow morning as well. Jill?
Norovirus is moving through the Tri-Cities, and now suspected cases have been showing up in Walla Walla County as well. This is a particularly strong virus that typically causes vomiting and can cause a fever. Even though the virus typically runs its course within a day or two, it can cause dehydration. It spreads very easily, so if one person in your household gets it, everyone else probably will too. The Walla Walla County Department of Community Health says hand sanitizer won't kill norovirus. You have to wash your hands with soap and water and disinfect surfaces with diluted bleach or another EPA-approved cleaner. If you're sick, you should also avoid preparing food for other people because that's one way the virus can spread easily. And speaking of health concerns, in less than a month, the state of Washington will no longer require masks in healthcare facilities, nursing homes, and correctional institutions. After April 3rd, you can still choose to wear a mask if you want to. Local governments or individual healthcare providers can still require masks. And the CDC says you still have to wear a mask if you test positive for the virus. Some troubling news about the popular keto diet. New research shows the low-carb, high-fat diet may put a person more at risk for heart disease. Scientists found the diet produced higher levels of bad cholesterol and doubled a person's risk of developing heart disease. Researchers compared the diets of several hundred people on the keto diet with about 1,200 people on a regular diet in the United Kingdom. Scientists followed participants for about a decade. Researchers caution their study shows an association between the diet and an increased risk for heart disease, but did not determine the diet caused a higher risk. Coming up next, the 2024 presidential race is starting to take shape as more politicians announce their candidacy bid.
Celebrate the grand opening of Click It RV's new store in Yakima Valley or at Click It RV in Pasco and get the same grand opening specials plus liquidation prices on all 20 to 22 RVs. Nobody will beat our prices. We guarantee it. Just off $395 in the Pasco Autoplex or clickitrv.com.
Does your property look like this? With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. They have the expert support you can trust. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration. We'll be there when you need us.
$1,500 purchase allowance on a 2023 Cadillac XT5 and XT6. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Everybody in the Tri-Cities has been to a Hubby's Pizza Party, right? You haven't? Acquire the Hubby's habit and book your party today. Delicious, mouth-watering food made with only the freshest ingredients. It's party time at Hubby's Pizza, a hometown favorite for nearly 45 years. Book your party today.
The biggest ladies' night of the year is coming to Legends Casino Hotel on April 1st. Direct from the Las Vegas Strip, it's the world-famous men of Hunks, the show. This high-energy show will ignite your senses and captivate your imagination. So ladies, get your friends together and make plans for the ultimate girls' night out. Hunks, the show, April 1st at Legends Casino Hotel. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or at the casino gift shop. Legends Casino Hotel, because fun is how we roll.
Water damage comes from anywhere. With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. With the best restoration experts for water damage, you can trust us as your premier restoration partner. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration.
Celebrate the grand opening of Click It RV's new store in Yakima Valley or at Click It RV in Pasco and get the same grand opening specials on travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and Class A and C motorhomes. We guarantee it. Just off $395 in the Pasco Autoplex or ClickItRV.com.
E.T., followed by Extra, tonight at 7 on Cap KVU.
The 2024 presidential picture is clearing up as multiple candidates announce their intention to run for president over the weekend. All this comes as President Biden visited Selma Sunday to honor the march that helped galvanize the civil rights movement.
And we'll have a look at morning road conditions because you may see snow. That's right, winter's not over yet. Tim will let you know where the snow is falling right now on Good Morning Northwest.
From Cap KVU Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling.
I'm Brianna Berman Solo. Okay, I'm trying to catch you off guard this morning. I've said snow enough. How about sunrise?
Sunrise.
Yes, it's happening now during the 6 o'clock hour, and at 6:31, we're taking a beautiful look for the first time at that first morning light on this first full week of March, or the start to it. Oh, yes, Jill, we love it. It's glorious, and this is a glorious way to start the day, although we do have to be on alert. Some of us are waking up to glorious snowfall. We do have a last taste of winter, or what may be one of the last few tastes of winter, as we've seen several over the past several weeks. Spring will return by this afternoon, mostly cloudy. Already seeing some nice clearing, though, so our snow estimates, original snow estimates, I may have to bring those down in the Yakima and Kittitas valleys, as snow is not forming to the west right now. Two areas we're seeing pockets of banded snowfall, or enough to measure and track right now over Spokane County, and the second between Dayton and Walla Walla, getting some nice clearing here over the Idaho-Washington state line. That's where you're seeing that light snowfall right now. We'll continue to see a few flurries possible for everyone during the morning hours, sunshine and chilly. Keep your jacket handy throughout the afternoon. We'll see warmer temperatures by the weekend. I'll have that forecast coming up. Jill?
The 2024 race for the White House continues to take shape. Former President Trump is vowing to keep campaigning even if he's indicted in any of the multiple investigations he's facing. Meanwhile, announcements this weekend from two people thought to be running. One is in, the other out. ABC's Lindsay Watts has the latest from Washington.
This morning, we're getting a clearer picture of the 2024 presidential race.
I am your warrior. I am your justice. And for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution.
Former President Donald Trump speaking at the Conservative Political Action Conference, telling reporters he's in even if he's indicted. This as he faces state and federal investigations over his finances, classified documents, and the January 6th Capitol attack.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't even think about leaving.
One of his biggest challenges expected to come from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. DeSantis hasn't officially announced his campaign yet, but he's currently on a book tour with stops planned this week in key states Iowa and Nevada.
We have a big problem with the federal establishment in Washington.
Yesterday, Maryland's former governor announcing he won't seek the Republican nomination. Larry Hogan saying a crowded field could help Trump win. Meantime, Democrat Marianne Williamson announcing she will run again. The self-help author spoke exclusively to ABC's Jonathan Karl.
I don't see myself as running against Joe Biden. I see this campaign as challenging a system.
As for Biden, at age 80, he's the oldest serving president in U.S. history, but says he will run again.
My intention hasn't been from the beginning to run, but there's too many other things I have to finish in the near term before I start a campaign.
Also officially in the race, former South Carolina Governor and UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Haley attended CPAC last week as well, and while she saw support from some people there, she was also heckled by Trump supporters. President Biden in Selma, Alabama to mark Bloody Sunday, the landmark march that helped galvanize the civil rights movement. 58 years ago, white state troopers beat hundreds of civil rights marchers as they attempted to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge. The protesters were heading to the state capitol in Montgomery to demand an expansion of voting rights. The president says voting rights are still threatened today.
Selma is a reckoning. The right to vote, to have your vote counted, is the threshold of democracy and liberty. With it, anything's possible. Without it, without that right, nothing is possible. And this fundamental right remains under assault. The conservative Supreme Court has gutted the Voting Rights Act over the years.
Police in Simi Valley, California are searching for the person who vandalized the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. The incident happened on Sunday, hours before Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was set to speak. Investigators say someone spray painted a sign at the library that said "Ron DeFascist." No other damage was found. It is widely speculated that DeSantis will run for president next year and compete against former President Donald Trump for the Republican nomination. One of the key points of DeSantis' platform is an overhaul of the United States public education system.
In the state of Florida, we're proud to stand for education, not indoctrination in our schools. What is the purpose of having a school system? You know, the left thinks the purpose is to use your tax dollars and use public institutions to impose an ideological agenda, to foment political activism and advance quote-unquote social justice.
We'll be getting an even bigger boost of evening daylight when clocks spring forward for daylight saving time this upcoming weekend. Last week, Florida Senator Marco Rubio reintroduced a bill that would make it so the entire country stays on daylight saving time permanently. Basically, we would spring forward 1 year and never fall back. The Senate passed the same bill last year, but it stalled in the House, and Washington lawmakers voted in favor of permanent daylight saving time years ago. But Congress has to sign off on the request, and so far that has not happened. Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo returns now with a look at your morning weather forecast.
We're still tracking snow in some areas, but for the most part, it looks like we're drying out and seeing that sunshine return as early as late this morning. We'll look ahead to the spring-like temperatures that return this weekend in your extended forecast.
Plus, a dog show that celebrates our four-legged friends who might not be as easy on the eyes. So we have more next.
Weather Alert Day. KFKB Local News First Alert Weather, helping keep you and your family safe.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with the product so good you'll never have to replace it again. All roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Special report.
Spectrum just launched Spectrum One, where Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile come together to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you are!
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile with no contract. Call 1-833-743-4999.
The Coopers here just got Spectrum One. Why did you switch?
With Spectrum One, we get a super fast, reliable connection. Look, with Spectrum Internet, I can stream Spectrum News across all our devices.
And the advanced Wi-Fi has enhanced security and privacy features that automatically block online threats, keeping our family and devices safe and secure.
How reliable is Spectrum Mobile?
It's a super reliable service coast to coast.
And it includes nationwide 5G.
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile with talk, text, and data. Call 1-833-743-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
For over 600 different premium cigars, including every cigar rated 95 and higher in the last decade. It's The Educated Cigar. For 115 different fine pipe tobaccos and 55 different Briarwood pipes from England, Germany, and Italy. It's The Educated Cigar. For 95 and higher rated wines and White Bluff IPAs, it's The Educated Cigar in Richland.
Come fly with us over a beautiful mountain with awesome
You
views.
could bring the whole family. Highly suggest it, and please, it's really good. Go up there and see it for yourself.
Fly the Northwest over Canfield Mountain. Cap KVU local news at 6 Tuesday.
TY? Thank you is TY now?
Next live, Katie Holmes. Plus, live returns to the Oscar stage for Live's After Oscars show.
Today at 9 on Cap KVU.
All right, does your dog have a face that only its owner could love? If you answered yes, then you are in luck because the world's ugliest dog contest is once again taking submissions.
The competition's website says their goal is not to make fun of ugly dogs, but rather to celebrate, quote, the imperfections that make all dogs special and unique. Look at that guy. This year's winner will be crowned on June 23rd at the Sonoma Marin Fair at Petaluma, California.
Not only will they walk away with the trophy declaring them as the world's ugliest dog officially, they'll also get $1,500. If you're interested, make sure you submit your application on the contest website by June 21st. Last year's winner was an almost hairless 17-year-old young pup named Mr. Happy Face. I don't know.
I love the name.
I think this might be Mr. Happy Face here, and we see why.
Well, this competition has been going on for nearly 50 years and emphasizes the importance of adoption. And really, at the end of the day, it's what's inside that counts.
Yes, raising awareness that all pets matter and they are so cute.
Yeah.
Mr. Happy Face.
Even the ones that are so-called ugly are super cute.
Unique, super unique. And we're looking at a super unique forecast as winter makes another comeback this morning. It's already starting to clear though. The clouds are parting and we're seeing sunshine, spring returning before we know it. We'll let you know when in your first alert weather forecast coming up in just 2 minutes.
And the 2023 maternal mortality report paints a shocking picture for pregnant women in Washington. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
Next ET.
Chris, ready for you.
Chris Rock's live comedy special addressing the Oscar slap plus. Prince Harry's first event since he and Meghan were evicted from their UK home. Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on Cap KVU.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. All amped up and ready for work or play. Plus, there's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford tough truck can do for you. Get 0 for 36 plus $3,000 low APR cash on a 2022 F-150 XLT only at your local Ford dealer.
Hi, I'm Stan. Welcome to my Stan Talk. My theory, it's called Triple Play because you can have fun on land, sea, and air. On land, bowling, XD Dark Ride, and others. At sea, all the slides and pools in Raptor Reef Indoor Water Park. In air, the ropes course, Nebula Drop Tower, and new zip ride. Or maybe the owner just like triple cheeseburgers. Thanks, everyone!
Triple Play has fun for everyone, including the brand new zipline ride, and it's all attached to a cozy hotel.
Mildly entertaining. I will take that.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Air Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Air Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
At Vapiano, we invite you to slow down, enjoy the journey. Make a reservation today. Taste wine where it's created. Sample a variety of wines from Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, and make it a day to remember. Vapiano Estates, Walla Walla.
Okay, are we gonna fit? There we go.
At American Family Insurance, we're here to carefully protect your dreams.
All right, open your eyes. Welcome home.
All right, we'll see you later. Save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance today. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $2,100 off on a new Daikin Fit system and thermostat when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Portion of Cap KVU sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier. Now, Cap KVU First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo.
We have two different weather stories going on right now. We'll start with the first. Most of us, and I should say all of us, off for a cold start to the morning. We're in the 30s right now. Not everyone needs to watch for ice and flurries. We take a look right now at Leavenworth, if we can pull up that camera. It is a winter wonderland. Check this out. If you're not looking at your television screen right now, maybe you're getting ready for work or you're making breakfast for the kids, step on over, look at snowy conditions, and now compare this to the sunshine and the clearing skies we're already seeing right now as the day begins in the Tri-Cities. So this is a look from our Richland camera. The camera sits atop the Columbia Point Lodge, and we can rotate it to see that sunshine coming up. But if we even headed just a few degrees off camera and looked to the west, we're seeing cloudy skies right now. So those clouds will part. The clouds do bring the chance for about an inch of snow in Yakima and Toppenish, but I am going to back off these numbers after the broadcast is over and update these for you. I'll update them right now verbally, letting you know we have not seen the snowfall in Yakima and Kittitas Valley that we're seeing in Leavenworth right now. Cle Elum, you'll see about a half an inch of snow, and over the foothills of the Blues, 2 inches of snow over that mountain range, or right along the, again, the hills of the Blues. We're going to see just a few flurries. 6 o'clock this morning in the Tri-Cities during the 6 o'clock hour where we are right now. 9 o'clock this morning, 3 hours from now, the best chance for snow up to 2 inches will be between Walla Walla and Dayton, along the Palouse and up to Spokane County. Otherwise, fairly quiet across the mid-Columbia, sandwiched between, again, the Cascades and the Blues. We have valley conditions that are drying out, clearing out, that sunshine returning as we speak in the Tri-Cities. In Yakima, you'll start off with clouds and snow, then spring makes a big comeback this afternoon. Keep your jackets. 43 degrees in Yakima is not that warm, but at least we're above freezing. It's chilly in Hanford. The sunshine returns as early as this afternoon, if not this morning. You saw that clearing right now of the clouds in the Tri-Cities, 47 degrees, 45 degrees in Walla Walla. Snow to start this morning, and then again spring and seasonal temperatures returning throughout the rest of the week. A gradual warm up, chilly but dry this weekend after a few spring showers on Friday. We'll be in the 50s Saturday and Sunday in the Tri-Cities. Yakima, cold, chilly throughout the week, below freezing every morning, but we'll see dry conditions by this afternoon, and we keep the sunshine through at least the middle of the work week. Jill?
80% of pregnancy-related deaths in Washington were preventable. That's the finding from the 2023 State Maternal Mortality Report. This morning, we hear from an expert who says behavioral health issues and substance use were the leading causes of death for pregnant women.
From 2014 to 2020, the Washington State Department of Health identified 224 women who died either while pregnant or within a year after pregnancy ended. A new report says 97 of those patients died from a pregnancy-related issue.
Something has to be done about that.
Deborah Gardner is the DOH's Maternal Mortality Review Coordinator.
The overarching vision of this is that any maternal death is unacceptable. And so ultimately, we hope to prevent them and improve the overall well-being of adults and children in Washington.
And what's causing these pregnant patients to die may not be what you suspect.
So the leading underlying causes of pregnancy-related deaths were behavioral health conditions, predominantly by suicide and overdose. And also we're looking at deaths through hemorrhage and infection.
Gardner says it's important to include up to a year postpartum and hopes this report will encourage providers to extend care beyond that 6-week checkup.
With behavioral health, for example, nearly 2/3 of deaths due to unintentional substance overdose happen later in postpartum.
The report also found the risk of dying during pregnancy goes up for pregnant patients of color, or if you live in a more rural area. Think of the Toppenish Labor and Delivery Center that had to close, leaving families with options for care few and far between.
We're seeing situations where stressors from things like systemic racism or being low income can actually worsen somebody's risk for mood disorders during and after pregnancy, but also limit whether they get screening and care.
While a lot is already being done in Washington to ensure preventable pregnancy-related deaths stay at zero, the report also has recommendations for lawmakers and providers. Gardner says people in affected communities have the power to enact change.
Black and Indigenous and communities of people of color must be centered as leaders for the successful implementation of many of the recommendations in the report. I hope it really makes a difference. I think people are very passionate about this.
If you or someone you know is suffering with a pregnancy or postpartum related mood disorder, help is available at a number that we'll have a link to. It's below on your screen right now. We'll have a link to that full report on our website, yaktrinews.com. We'll be right back with the morning sprint and a final check on your forecast. But first, a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, bird strike emergency. Go ahead. That's smoke filling the cabin inside a Southwest Airlines plane. Passengers using those overhead oxygen masks that drop down. The flight was headed to Fort Lauderdale from Havana on Sunday. Southwest saying there was a reported bird strike to an engine and the aircraft's nose shortly after takeoff.
We have bird strikes happen every day in commercial aviation, but very seldom does it require an emergency return. However, we always err on the side of caution, and that's what this crew did.
The plane turning around and making an emergency landing. Passengers covering their faces as they evacuated through the emergency exits. We'll have much more on this scare in the air coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Victor Oquendo, ABC News, Miami.
Moderate to severe eczema. It doesn't care if you have a date, a day off, or a double shift. Make your move and get out in front of eczema with steroid-free Sabinco. Not an injection, Sabinco is a once-daily pill for those who didn't respond to past treatments. And it's proven to help provide clearer skin and relieve itch fast. Sabinco continuously treats eczema whether you're flaring or not.
Sabinco can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections and do blood tests. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, or are prone to infections. Do not take with medicines that prevent blood clots, serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, lung, skin, and other cancers. Serious heart-related events and blood clots can happen. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of serious heart-related events or death with JAK inhibitors.
It's time to get out in front of eczema. Ask your doctor about once daily Sabinco.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time right now is 6:52. We're going to get to Brianna's local forecast in a moment, but first a look at this morning's top stories. Police are investigating incidents of alleged human trafficking across the state after a person reported a massage parlor in Wenatchee. Police connected nearly a dozen massage businesses owned by the same person. Investigators sent undercover officers into one Clearwater location in Kennewick and said an employee was expecting money in return for sexual acts. They're looking for 2 suspects accused of leading organized crime, promoting prostitution, and money laundering. Continuing coverage on a shooting in Wapato involving a federal law enforcement officer that left 1 person injured. Authorities say a member of a U.S. Marshals task force was operating in Wapato within the bounds of the Yakima Reservation when the shooting occurred. The Yakima Valley Special Investigations Unit, which typically investigates cases involving officer use of force, says they're not involved. The FBI says their agents weren't involved in the shooting. They're investigating because it involved an assault of a federal law enforcement officer. The Pasco School District bond to build brighter futures passed by 60.9%, just barely going over the cusp to approve a bond. The goal of the bond was to alleviate overcrowding and modernize learning. They plan to do this by building 2 new high schools in the city, hopefully to be open by fall of 2025. Superintendent Michelle Whitney says the community should start seeing ground moving in April and that they're excited to get these projects going.
Just a testament to this community's commitments to our children, and we're just so incredibly grateful and don't for 1 minute take this investment for granted. So our job now is to be good stewards of this community's investment, and we're proud and honored to do that.
There were 8 bond measures on the ballot in Washington. Superintendent Whitney says Pasco's was the only one approved. And history was made last night as the Washington State University women's basketball team brought home the Pac-12 championship in their 65-61 win over UCLA. The Cougs' victory netted them their first Pac-12 title in the school's history. And not just in basketball, their championship win was their first Pac-12 title across all women's sports. Congratulations to the Cougs. It's called Windows Alive. It's a project the Yakima Arts Commission has been doing for years now that lets artists across central Washington get exposure for their works. Local artists from around the region are selected to have their works of art put on display in old, unused store windows. It gives people who roam the downtown area a unique visual of paintings, carvings, and drawings rather than bleak, empty storefronts.
One other thing that's important to know is that the artists, there are 6 artists that are selected for each show, and each artist does receive a $250 stipend.
Many of the people featured in the exhibit admit to being closet artists and say this opportunity gives them a chance to share their take on art with the public and artists like themselves. Windows Alive displays are located on the north side of Yakima Avenue between Hotel Mason and 3rd Street. They're hoping to have the new art up by April 7th. The first flight of a hydrogen-powered airplane was a success. It demonstrates that zero-emissions air travel is possible. The 40-passenger plane took off from Grant County International Airport in Moses Lake and flew around about 15 minutes before landing. This was the first in a 2-year flight test campaign with hopes into entering commercial space in 2025.
And a final look at that sunrise this morning. What a beautiful one it is. Right now it is chilly outside and looks can be deceiving, so we'll switch over from our nighttime graphic to the sunshine that is just starting to come out right now with the cloud coverage blocking it and a few flurries along the eastern slopes of the Cascades. Otherwise, Yakima, Tri-Cities, Walla Walla all looking at the potential for light snow, greater chance in Walla Walla and Pendleton this morning. Grab a jacket, grab a warm hat. You'll need the ice scrapers as well. Winter making one big comeback here this morning. We don't see a lot of snowfall in the forecast, but enough to create concerns for ice this morning and again tomorrow morning if any of this melts this afternoon. Sunshine on the way. 30s and 40s, cloudy start in the Kittitas Valley, but we're already seeing that sunshine return as clouds part. Yakima Valley seeing some sunshine during this early morning hour as well, right before the start of the 7 o'clock hour. 40s this afternoon. We'll continue to see the sunshine come out after a winter start. Spring returns. 30s turn to 40s in the Tri-Cities as well. We'll see a high today of 44 degrees in Hermiston, 48 in Hermiston, 44 Pendleton. So warmer than the conditions we need for snow by the afternoon hours, but it's cold out there right now. We get down below freezing overnight. Continue to keep in the back of your mind that it's still winter. Technically, it's chilly, even with 50s this weekend, but it is sunny. That will feel nice. Any yard work you have to get done, Saturday and Sunday looking great. In the Tri-Cities and Yakima, Thursday night through Friday morning, we'll see a chance of showers. Otherwise, looking chilly this morning. Sunshine returning late today, and we'll continue to see more of it for tomorrow in Yakima as well. Jill?
Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Northwest. GMA is next. Cap KVUE Local News is back tonight at 5.